Do you feel tired all the time, no matter how much you sleep? What if the real cause isn't lack of rest, but a hidden, slow-burning energy drain in your body that no one notices? Today, we're revealing why your body is constantly exhausted and how to reset the invisible systems that control your energy. Feeling tired all the time is often blamed on lack of sleep, but in many cases, the real reason runs deeper and builds slowly over time. The body is designed to maintain energy through a balance of rest, nutrition, movement, and internal rhythms. When even one of these systems is slightly off, the effect is not always immediate. Instead, it shows up as a constant, low-level exhaustion that feels difficult to explain. One of the most overlooked causes is the disruption of the body's natural sleep-wake cycle, also known as the circadian rhythm. This internal clock developed over thousands of years, guiding humans to wake with daylight and rest when it becomes dark. In modern life, artificial lighting, screens, and irregular schedules confuse this system. Even if someone spends enough hours in bed, the quality of sleep can suffer when the body no longer knows when it is supposed to fully rest. Light plays a powerful role here. Exposure to bright screens late at night signals the brain to stay alert. At the same time, many people do not get enough natural daylight during the morning. This combination weakens the signals that regulate sleep hormones, making it harder to feel truly rested the next day. Over time, this creates a cycle where fatigue becomes the normal state. Another important factor is blood sugar stability. The body relies on a steady supply of energy from food, particularly glucose. When meals are irregular or heavily based on refined carbohydrates and sugar, energy levels rise quickly and then crash just as fast. These crashes often feel like sudden waves of tiredness, especially in the afternoon. Historically, diets were more balanced and less processed, providing a more stable energy flow throughout the day. Modern eating habits, however, often push the body into repeated spikes and drops. Dehydration is another quiet contributor. Even mild dehydration can reduce physical and mental performance. The body depends on water for nearly every function, including circulation and temperature regulation. When fluid levels are low, the heart works harder to pump blood, and the brain receives less oxygen. This can lead to a feeling of sluggishness that many people mistake for general fatigue rather than a simple lack of hydration. Stress also plays a central role, though it is not always obvious. In short bursts, stress can increase alertness and energy. But when stress becomes constant, the body shifts into a prolonged state of tension. Hormones like cortisol remain elevated, which can interfere with sleep and drain energy reserves over time. This kind of fatigue is often described as feeling wired but tired, where the mind feels active but the body feels exhausted. Mental overload adds another layer. The modern environment requires constant attention, switching between tasks, notifications, and decisions. The brain uses a significant amount of energy, and continuous cognitive effort without proper breaks leads to mental fatigue. Unlike physical tiredness, this does not always improve with rest alone. It requires periods of true disconnection, something that has become increasingly rare. Nutrient deficiencies can also contribute, sometimes without clear warning signs. Iron, vitamin D, and certain B vitamins are essential for energy production. In the past, people spent more time outdoors and consumed less processed food, which naturally supported these levels. Today, indoor lifestyles and limited dietary variety can lead to subtle deficiencies that gradually reduce energy. Movement, or the lack of it, is another key piece. It may seem counterintuitive, but too little physical activity often leads to more fatigue. The body is built to move, and regular activity supports circulation, oxygen delivery, and energy production at the cellular level. When movement is minimal, the body becomes less efficient, and even simple tasks begin to feel more tiring. Sleep itself is not just about duration, but depth and consistency. Interruptions during the night, even brief ones, can prevent the body from reaching deeper restorative stages. Over time, this creates a sleep debt that cannot always be fixed in a single night. The body keeps track of this deficit, and the result is a persistent sense of tiredness that feels disconnected from how long someone actually slept. There is also a psychological dimension. When fatigue becomes constant, it can affect motivation and mood. Tasks feel heavier, decisions take longer, and even small efforts require more energy. This can create a feedback loop where reduced activity leads to lower energy, which then makes it harder to become active again. Looking at history, human energy patterns were shaped by natural cycles, physical activity, and simpler routines. The modern world has introduced convenience, but also constant stimulation and irregular habits. The body has not fully adapted to these changes, which is why fatigue has become so common. In many cases, being constantly tired is not caused by a single issue, but by several small imbalances working together. Slight disruptions in sleep, nutrition, hydration, stress, and movement can combine into a steady drain on energy. Because each factor seems minor on its own, the overall effect is often overlooked. Understanding this helps explain why quick fixes rarely work. Energy is not something that can be restored instantly. It depends on systems that need consistency over time. When those systems are supported, the body gradually returns to a more stable and natural level of energy. This also highlights the importance of consistency over intensity. Many people try to compensate for low energy with short bursts of extreme effort, such as strict diets, intense workouts, or drastic changes in routine. While these approaches can sometimes create temporary improvements, they are often difficult to maintain. The body responds better to small, sustainable habits that are repeated daily. Over time, these habits rebuild stability across multiple systems rather than placing additional stress on them. For example, maintaining a consistent sleep schedule helps reinforce the body's internal clock. Going to bed and waking up at similar times each day strengthens the signals that regulate hormones and recovery processes. Even small improvements in timing can gradually improve sleep quality, leading to better energy during the day. Nutrition follows the same principle. Regular meals that include a balance of protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates help stabilize blood sugar levels and prevent sudden energy crashes. Instead of focusing on perfection, building simple and repeatable eating patterns supports long-term energy far more effectively. Intentional rest is another missing piece. True rest is not just the absence of activity, but the absence of constant stimulation. Spending time without screens, engaging in quiet activities, or simply allowing the mind to slow down gives the nervous system space to recover. In a world filled with constant input, these moments have become essential. Social environments also play a subtle role. Positive interactions can increase motivation and improve mood, while negative or draining environments can contribute to emotional exhaustion. Being aware of these influences helps protect overall energy levels. It is also important to recognize that the body adapts gradually. When multiple systems have been out of balance for a long time, recovery takes time as well. This delay can make it feel like nothing is changing, even when progress is happening beneath the surface. Ultimately, constant tiredness is often not a random problem, but a signal. It reflects how well different systems in the body are working together. By making small, consistent adjustments and allowing time for the body to respond, it is possible to rebuild a steady,